A whisper of tremors in the night. What if I told you that one man, working alone in a cramped New York laboratory, nearly brought an entire city to its knees with a device no bigger than a shoebox? What if this same man, a genius who lit up the modern world, was erased from history's spotlight, his most audacious inventions dismissed as madness? Picture this: it's 1898, and the ground beneath Manhattan trembles. Windows rattle, walls creak, and panicked neighbors call for the police, convinced an earthquake is tearing through the city. At the center of it all is Nikola Tesla, a Serbian immigrant with a mind that saw beyond his time, clutching a tiny machine that could shake the earth itself. This is the story of Tesla's earthquake machine, a forgotten breakthrough that could have changed the world but was buried in the shadows of history. Stay with me, because by the end of this tale, you'll feel the weight of an injustice so profound it might just keep you up at night. And trust me, you'll want to share this story with everyone you know. Let's dive into the life of a man whose ideas were so dangerous they threatened to upend the world. And ask yourself, why have we forgotten him? If this story moves you, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to uncover more hidden truths like this one. The spark of genius, Tesla's early years. I'm sitting here, late at night, surrounded by books and papers, much like Nikola Tesla must have been in his youth. Born on July 10, 1856, in Smiljan, a small village in what's now Croatia, Tesla was a child of storms, literally. Family legend says he came into the world during a fierce lightning storm, as if the universe itself was signaling his arrival. His mother, Juka, was an inventor in her own right, crafting household tools with a practical genius that shaped young Nikola's curiosity. His father, a Serbian Orthodox priest, filled their home with books, sparking a love for knowledge that would define Tesla's life. As a scientist, I've spent decades chasing ideas, but Tesla, he was something else. He had a photographic memory, spoke 8 languages, and claimed his best ideas came in vivid flashes of inspiration. I can almost see him as a boy, lying awake at night, his mind racing with images of machines that didn't yet exist. By the time he was in his 20s, studying engineering in Austria and Czechoslovakia, he was already dreaming of harnessing electricity in ways no one else dared. He wasn't just solving problems, he was rewriting the rules of what was possible. But here's where the story takes its first turn. In 1884, Tesla arrived in New York City with nothing but a few cents, a letter of introduction to Thomas Edison, and a head full of ideas. Edison, the celebrated Wizard of Menlo Park, hired him, but the two were like fire and ice. Edison championed direct current DC, a clunky system for delivering electricity. Tesla, however, saw the future in alternating current, AC, a system that could send power over long distances efficiently. When Tesla tried to share his vision, Edison dismissed him. Within 6 months, Tesla quit, betrayed and broke, digging ditches to survive while sketching designs in his mind. Can you imagine that? A man who would change the world, reduced to manual labor, his brilliance ignored. It makes me wonder, how many other geniuses have we overlooked, their ideas buried under the weight of skepticism? Let's keep going, because Tesla's story is just getting started. The birth of the earthquake machine. By 1887, Tesla was back on his feet, founding the Tesla Electric Company with backing from investors who believed in his AC system. His patents for AC motors and power systems, filed that year, caught the eye of George Westinghouse, who bought them for $60,000 in stock, a fortune at the time. This was Tesla's first taste of success, but his mind was already racing towards something bigger, something stranger, a machine that could tap into the Earth's own rhythms. Enter the mechanical oscillator, or as history would later call it, the earthquake machine. In the late 1890s, Tesla was experimenting in his Manhattan laboratory at 46 East Houston Street. He was obsessed with resonance, the idea that every object, from a glass to a building, has a natural frequency at which it vibrates. Match that frequency, and you can amplify vibrations to devastating effect. Think of a singer shattering a wine glass with a perfect note. Now scale that up to a city block. Tesla's oscillator was a small, elegant device, some say no bigger than a pocket watch, though likely closer to a bread box. Powered by compressed air or electricity, it used pistons to generate precise, rhythmic vibrations. Tesla's goal wasn't destruction. He wanted to explore what he called telegeodynamics, the transmission of acoustic vibrations through the Earth for communication or energy transfer. He believed this technology could revolutionize how we harnessed and shared power globally, a vision he described in his writings as a worldwide system of telegeodynamics. Here's a specific moment that brings this to life. In 1898, Tesla attached his oscillator to a steel beam in his laboratory. As the machine hummed, it began to sync with the building's natural frequency. The walls started to shake, windows rattled. Neighbors, thinking an earthquake had struck, flooded the streets in panic. Tesla later claimed he could have brought the building down if he hadn't stopped the experiment. Police stormed his lab, but Tesla, calm as ever, smashed the device with a sledgehammer to prevent further chaos. I can almost hear the hum of that machine, feel the floor trembling beneath my feet. As a scientist, I'm in awe of Tesla's precision, his ability to manipulate resonance with such a compact device. But as a human, I'm struck by the audacity of it. One man, in a small lab, wielding the power to shake a city. Why haven't we heard more about this? If this story is hitting you as hard as it's hitting me, drop a comment below, tell me what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep these forgotten stories alive. The high wave, a city on the brink. Let's pause for a moment and picture that scene in 1898. It's a sweltering summer day in New York. Horse-drawn carriages clatter through the streets, and the city is alive with the hum of progress. But in Tesla's lab, something extraordinary is happening. The oscillator is running, its rhythmic pulses growing stronger. The ground itself seems to groan. Across the neighborhood, people freeze, their coffee cups rattling on tables, their windows vibrating like tuning forks. Someone screams, "Earthquake!" and the chaos begins. This is our first high wave, the moment of peak tension. Tesla, standing alone, realizes the power he's unleashed. He's not just playing with science, he's touching the very pulse of the Earth. His notes from the time, preserved in his writings, reveal his excitement. I had one of the happiest days of my life when I found that my oscillator could produce such effects. But there's a shadow here too. Tesla knew the world wasn't ready for this. He filed a patent for his oscillator in 1894, US patent number 511,916, describing a reciprocating engine capable of producing mechanical vibrations. Yet he kept the full potential of the device under wraps, fearing misuse or disbelief. Here's where the story twists. Tesla wasn't just inventing for the sake of invention. He saw his oscillator as a tool for humanity, a way to transmit energy or signals across the globe without wires. In his 1935 interview with Liberty magazine, he spoke of using resonance to split the Earth like an apple if he chose, but his real dream was to harness it for good. Imagine a world where energy could be sent through the ground, powering homes thousands of miles away. It was a vision so bold it scared the powers that be. But the world didn't embrace it. Investors, more interested in immediate profits, backed away. The press, quick to sensationalize, dubbed it the earthquake machine, turning Tesla's genius into a caricature of a mad scientist. I can't help but feel a pang of frustration here. How many times have we dismissed visionaries because their ideas were too big, too strange? Have you ever felt like your own ideas were ignored because they didn't fit the mold? Share your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to hear. And if this story is sparking something in you, hit that share button to spread the word. The turning point. A genius misunderstood. By the early 1900s, Tesla's star was fading. His AC system had won the war of the currents against Edison's DC, powering homes and cities worldwide. He'd pioneered radio technology, later recognized by the US Supreme Court as predating Marconi's work, and invented the Tesla coil, still used in electronics today. But the earthquake machine? It was too radical, too unsettling. The public loved Tesla's flair, his demonstrations with 250,000-volt shocks or remote-controlled boats dazzled crowds, but they didn't trust his wilder ideas. Here's a specific example that breaks my heart. In 1901, Tesla began work on his Wardenclyffe Tower, a massive project on Long Island meant to transmit wireless power and communication globally. He believed his oscillator could play a role, sending vibrations through the Earth to complement the tower's signals. But funding dried up. J.P. Morgan, his main backer, pulled out when he realized Tesla's goal was free energy for all, a threat to his financial empire. On July 4, 1917, the US government demolished Wardenclyffe, citing fears that Tesla's experiments could disrupt the status quo. This is the turning point, the moment where history turned its back on Tesla. His oscillator, with its potential to reshape energy and communication, was relegated to a footnote. The press mocked him, calling his ideas million-dollar follies. His patents, including number 511,916 for the oscillator, were ignored or misunderstood. Tesla, once celebrated, was now a pariah, his laboratory a place of whispers and rumors. As a scientist, I've seen how the world resists ideas that challenge the established order. Tesla's story reminds me of colleagues who fought for funding only to be told their work is too risky. But Tesla's risk was our loss. What could we have achieved if we'd listened? If you're feeling that same sense of injustice, let's keep this story alive. Share it, comment below, and subscribe for more. The climax. A lonely end. Fast forward to 1935. Tesla is 79, living in a modest room at the Hotel New Yorker. The man who electrified the world is now penniless, feeding pigeons in the park, his only companions. On his birthday, he meets with journalists, his voice still sharp, his eyes bright with ideas. He speaks of his oscillator, claiming it could produce terrestrial motions at a distance. He hints at its power, saying he could destroy the Empire State Building if he wanted. The reporters laugh, thinking he's lost his mind. This is our second high wave, the climax of Tesla's struggle. He's not mad, he's desperate to be heard. His notes, preserved in archives like those at the Tesla Science Center, detail experiments with resonance that could have powered cities or revolutionized communication. Yet the world has moved on. Edison, Marconi, and others have claimed the spotlight, often using Tesla's ideas without credit. When Tesla dies alone on January 7, 1943, the US government seizes his papers, fearing they contain secrets too dangerous to be left unguarded. Rumors swirl about a death ray or other weapons, but the oscillator's potential remains locked away, classified or dismissed. I can't help but feel a knot in my stomach. This man, who gave us the backbone of our electrical grid, who dreamed of free energy and global communication, was left to fade into obscurity. Doesn't that make you angry? Doesn't it make you wonder what else we've lost? Resolution, a call to remember. As I sit here, the clock ticking past midnight, I'm haunted by Tesla's story. His earthquake machine wasn't just a device, it was a symbol of what could have been. A world where energy flowed freely, where communication united us across continents, where one man's vision could shake the foundations of greed and control. But we let it slip away. We let Tesla slip away. Here's a lesson from his life. Genius thrives on curiosity, but it's fragile. Tesla once said, "My brain is only a receiver." In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. He believed in a universal truth, a shared potential we've yet to fully embrace. His oscillator, with its ability to harness resonance, could have been a step toward that truth. Instead, it became a legend, a ghost story. But it's not too late. Today, scientists like those at the Tesla Science Center are revisiting his work, exploring resonance for everything from wireless charging to medical imaging. His ideas live on, quietly shaping our world. Yet the injustice remains. Tesla died alone, his contributions overshadowed by those who profited from his genius. As a scientist, I feel a duty to right that wrong, to give credit where it's due. So here's my question to you. Why do we let visionaries like Tesla fade? What other breakthroughs are we ignoring today? If this story has stirred something in you, if you feel the sting of that injustice, then don't let it end here. Share this video, tell your friends, spark a conversation. Let's give Tesla the respect he deserves. Like, comment, and subscribe to keep these stories alive. Together we can awaken the world to the forgotten geniuses who shaped it. As the night grows quiet, I'm left with one final thought. Nikola Tesla's earthquake machine wasn't just a tool. It was a glimpse into a future we're still chasing. His life teaches us to listen to the dreamers, to protect the bold, to question why some stories are buried. The next time you flip a switch, charge your phone, or hear a radio, remember, Tesla's genius is in the air around you. Let's not let his story fade again. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment with your thoughts. What did Tesla's story make you feel? Subscribe for more tales of forgotten brilliance, and let's keep the spark alive. Because if we don't, who will?